Do you believe in the afterlife, that people can wake up after they're pronounced dead? What happens when we die? When you breathe your last breath and close your eyes one final time, what happens after that? There's no scientific evidence for life after death, but people believe in it anyway, due to religious or cultural reasons, but it doesn't mean that everyone who believes in the afterlife is religious. A man called Scott Drummond shared his story after so many years in September of 2020. He died on the operating table for 20 minutes and had vividly described how he was led to an incredible supernatural journey before his soul was apparently returned to his body. Drummond said he first dislocated his thumb in a nasty skiing accident. He was skiing at a mountain and had been there all day when a lady ran into them and poles dropped, and in that moment something happened to his hand. He didn't know until when he took off his glove, he noticed that his thumb was hanging straight down. It had been broken and he didn't know. So surgery was scheduled and he was taken to the emergency room. The doctor began operating on his thumb. So he said he remembered there was a nurse in the room during the surgery, and she told the doctor that she's never seen this, been in a room during this type of surgery before. But the doctor said, don't worry, I'll walk you through it. Just stick around and get me whatever I need. So during the surgery, a tourniquet was placed on his arm, and eventually it became too tight on him. So the doctor asked the nurse, who was there assisting with the surgery, told her to release the valve. She did that, but for some reason it released the pressure, but then Scott immediately felt a sensation going up his shoulder. Then he passed out. Now, a tourniquet is a device that is applied to reduce the blood flow during surgery. It's commonly used by orthopedic and plastic surgeons. So the next thing Scott felt was that he was already out of his body, and then sitting up, staring down at himself and the doctor who was still performing the surgery. So he did not know how to feel. And then he looked and also saw the nurse panicking that whatever she did had killed him. He said he could hear the doctor talking, and he kept watching everything that was happening around him. It was a simple surgery that turned fatal. So then something told him it was time to go. So this man had been sitting up, staring down at himself during the surgery. It's assumed that he died, and this was his spirit watching everything happening. So shortly, this entity next to him told him it was time to go. And in a twinkle of an eye, he was in a field, a very beautiful area. He said he walked through the field with weird looking trees and wildflowers reaching by his waist. He thought the place was so beautiful. Then in front of him was a tall grass reaching his waist, but the entity was no longer there with him. But he felt so peaceful, and he wasn't allowed to look back. Now that was strange. He said he saw a white cloud passing through. So then he saw a video of his life from the day he was born till he was 28 years old, till the day he died. Everything he did in his life flashed before his eyes. He felt happy, sad, remorseful, ashamed, and regretted some of his actions. He thought about his life as a postal worker, and he knew how selfish he had been then. Everything felt so real to him that was when he realized that he was dead and moving on. So he began walking forward, and someone held his hand and said to him that it wasn't time for him to die. So the next second, he felt himself back into the hospital bed where his body had been. When he woke up, his doctor explained to him that his body rejected every attempt to wake him up, that it seemed like he was ready to die, and whatever they tried to do to bring him back to life did not work. And Scott noticed the paper on his chest that pronounced him dead for 20 minutes. So when he was wheeled out, he saw his wife outside waiting for him and didn't even know what had happened. So after that encounter, he felt a more peaceful life. He said the experience changed his life, and he now sees it differently. He believes there's God, and he's not afraid to die because he now knows how it feels to be dead.
Since I was 28 years old, it's kind of brought me closer to my Father in heaven. I know there's a God. I know without a shadow of a doubt. One thing that I can also say is I'm not afraid of dying, because I know how peaceful it's going to be.
What do you think? Do you believe in the afterlife? Do you believe that people die and then go somewhere beautiful? Do you even believe that people die and they have a memory of where they went to or what they did? I mean, science would beg to differ, because I do know that the moment you die, brain activity stops. So, this is the part of afterlife that I find it very hard to reconcile. How come you're able to see things that happened over there, and then you remember it and then you bring back that memory? So, I mean, the world is full of supernatural events. I don't even want to argue it. I do believe that paranormal things happen. I believe that strange things happen. It's a strange world. So what do you think? I'm interested in your own experiences or stories. If you have any to share, tell me your thoughts below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching and have yourself a good day.